Hey guys, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. Today I'm trying something a little different. I'm recording from inside the truck, obviously. In the background there you can see my drawer system that I built with the help of a friend. And on this episode, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking a little bit more about kind of the in-depth dive on how, you know, this drawer system came together. Insert cool drawer system montage here. As far as the whys, right, the kind of the design of the drawer system. So basically, you'll notice in, you know, any pictures or videos I put up here, it's basically a 2-drawer design with then room over to the side for a very large slider. That large slider sits on a 250-pound, 36-inch drawer slide, and I'll put links to all this stuff down below. I've got links to all the drawer stuff, which I'll put down below if you guys wanted to build your own. Highly recommend these drawer slides. They're super stout. They are super smooth, they slide out. The only thing about them is they are not locking. So I solved that problem with some very simple mechanical sort of locks. Like I have a little lock that locks it in place, and then that folds down, and I'll put links to those below as well and show you that in a little more detail right here. And then when it's fully extended, I basically just made a little simple wooden slot that slips down between the drawer and the base, and then that's what actually holds it in place. So it's a very simple system. I like that because it's just, the simpler the better, the less things you have to worry about when you're, out in the middle of nowhere trying to figure out if your stuff's going to work or not. I would love to have the mechanical, the locking drawer slides. I think they're pretty nice, but they do add to cost quite a bit. So, if that's one thing to think about, right, is as you're building your drawer system, if you really want to, if you're doing this once, which is kind of how I viewed it too, like I just want to do this once and do it right. But again, I think the locking drawer slides were about double what the regular non-locking drawer slides were. So for me, I just couldn't justify that cost because, they were about $80 for the drawer slides themselves, non-locking. So I think the locking ones were about $150. So for me, I was just like, man, I could pay for my 22-inch drawer slides, which are going to be for the 2 drawers over to the left side of the cabinet, and pay for most of the wood, for that. I mean, I'm about $100 in on wood, $120 in on wood. 2 22-inch drawer sliders, which were about $26, I think, for both of those, about $13 a piece. And then about $80 for the 36-inch drawer slide. And then, I had some of the stuff laying around, like I had 2 of the 3 drawer locks that I'm using already, so I just had to buy a third one. They're about $13 a piece, if I remember. Had to buy some little, half-inch drawer slide sort of flat mount screws, but it was about $6 for like 100 of those, so that wasn't a big deal. Bought the little handles that you'll see on the drawers. Those were about $10 for 6 of them, I believe. And I made use of exactly 6 of them on this drawer build. So I'll show you kind of where those are as well. Just so you know too, I am going to place the design files on my website, and I'll put a link to that below as well. So if you guys want to go check that out, if you have an Xterra specifically. But you could also check out the dimensions and the measure the back of your SUV and probably make something similar or, play with it. Now, I will say, as sort of a matter of caution, these were the original design files when we first designed it out, and my buddy, the woodworker, kind of made it so that it would be as efficient as possible to get it out of the fewest sheets possible. As we were going, though, we made some slight changes, so I just want to warn you, like, these will give you a good basis, but then you want to think through it yourself, because we did have to make some changes kind of to make it work. So anyway, so I hope those are helpful. I'll put those down below. So yeah, so now here I'm going to kind of show you the drawers. Okay guys, also wanted to sort of show you on these drawers the way that I'm keeping them shut. So, one of the things that you've got to be conscious of is this truck is moving, right? It's a vehicle. So obviously it's going to be moving around, which means as soon as these things are loaded with stuff, it's going to be, trying to pull these drawers open. Basically, every time I go up a hill or something, it's going to be pushing against the back of this. So my solution for that was these basically they're like pantry door locks, sort of like kid locks basically. If you put them up super high on your door, you actually have to pull in, and I may have to push it on the drawer a little bit, but you actually have to pull in on it, and then it releases. It locks down into that little, this piece locks down into that little thing there. And then once you move that out of the way, then the drawers come open. But the nice thing about this, and kind of the reason I used them, well, one, I already had 2 of these. I bought them actually to keep my kids out of the pantry, but then we just never used them, so I ended up repurposing them. But they've got this nice rubber liner on them, and they're adjustable. The screw holes in there are actually adjustable. I wonder if you can see them, maybe a little bit. So there's that one middle hole there that may be kind of tough to see, where you can actually kind of put a screw in and then slide it back and forth maybe about 1/4 of an inch to get it just right. And then once you kind of get it just right, what I did was I just used a pencil and marked it really quick, and then just put in the other 3 screws. So there's 4 screws that hold this thing in, so they're pretty stout. But so then when you close it, you just pull that over, it locks in like that, and then again, that rubber is just right up against there. So, I mean, it doesn't even move a millimeter, it doesn't move at all. Neither one of them do. And then just to keep things consistent, I bought a 3rd one and actually put it on the big slider here. And this one is actually so tight, I do have to like push in on the drawer a little bit, which is how I wanted it to release it. But then it's about the same height as the bottom of the drawer, or the base. So that actually just slides right over it. The drawers are all set up. The solar has charged the battery all day. So I got power, I'm at 13.3 volts. Got the inverter mounted, it's nighttime. You can see, I've had these on here for a couple of years, but I actually mounted a couple of little pod LED lights. For some reason, a couple of the little lenses have fallen off of them. So you can see that one's a little bit different color. Same with that one. But those actually wire directly into the rear light, which has also been replaced with an LED, a much brighter bulb. But so, I mean, you can see how much extra light comes from just those extra couple of lights. But they were like 12 bucks, I think, on Amazon. And you just kind of pull the headliner down. They have like the way they mount is you actually screw these in, and then there's a backing that has a screwed thing on it, and you can just sort of screw it down until it's tight. And then all those are wired together. And again, I just ran them through here and wired them straight into that light. So, when this backlight comes on and the other lights come on, which is kind of handy. But so that was initially my lighting solution. But now that I've got this big drawer system, wanted to have enough lights to do some cooking and stuff like that. So just added some little simple battery powered LEDs, nothing fancy. And I went for form over function, or function over form, I mean. So I didn't try to do anything fancy. I just tried to throw a couple strips up there. Is kind of cool though. You could, if I ever want to have like a rave or something here, I can totally do that. So, the next expo, I'm ready to go. Have party time at Fletch's truck. So anyways, just wanted to kind of show you guys that. So that's it. That's pretty much the bulk of it. Hope you guys found that interesting. Definitely, if you have any questions about how I built it, we learned some stuff as we went. So again, like I said, the instructions are not the final instructions necessarily, because we had to change it a few times. So just, if you have any questions, please post up in the comments below. If this was helpful, please like the video. That actually helps me out more than you know. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, we're glad to have you here. Thank you for watching the video. Again, that's the drawer system. Hope you guys are having a great day, and get out there, live, learn, discover, have a good one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.